Get to know Dominique Daigle as she and I discuss her new Discreezips app, her growing book series, and her amazing life since starring on Network's WAGS LA.
All right, well, let's dive on in, my dear. We watched you star on season 3 of the reality show WAGS LA on the Network. As you continue to thrive and glow up, what's your personal secret to balancing life as an amazing mompreneur, author, and philanthropist?
I think the key, and it sounds so cliche, I'll say, but really the drive behind all of that is my children. You know what I'm saying? And I have a great support team like my mother, and a lot of people unfortunately can't have, don't have their parents, they're not able to, just keep it real, for the cleaning lady to kind of help you balance out all that you have to do in life. And I think that people think that it's super easy, especially when social media makes everything look perfect. You know what I'm saying? And it's not as easy as it seems. So I'm just grateful to be able to have that drive and willpower, and my mother and my sister to definitely help me navigate while I'm trying to climb this ladder, for sure.
Support system is so important, and
it takes a village. Thank you.
To surround you and help you and just be there to help you.
Absolutely.
All right, you launched the Discreezips app. Is that what it's pronounced?
Yes.
And I read that it tracks mental health, menstrual cycle, ovulation, and pregnancy. Please tell me what's your inspiration for creating the app?
So, as you know, I have 3 beautiful babies, and years back, apps weren't a thing. They're now, technology now is the thing, but like around 2000, I'll say like 10, nobody was really checking for apps. And I was, at the time, I was with someone and I was like, man, I wish you would be able to track what I'm going through so I don't feel like I have to wake him up out his nap, or if he's asleep and I'm up, or if I'm up and he's asleep, maybe he could just look in and see what I'm going through, you know what I'm saying? Or how many kicks the baby had, or how much water intake I had. So I was hoping to eventually down the line create something like that to bring families close together. And then last year I got presented the opportunity to actually, make it come to fruition. So I said, why not? I went ahead and developed it. It took me a good 9 months to create this app. And I recently have pulled back just a little bit because we're doing major updates. I launched it with a company in India. So now that we're going to start housing it in Dallas, Texas, I was like, thank God I don't have to wait until 12 at midnight to talk to someone if something isn't working. That's a lot of wear and tear, on your body and just, your mental health. So I was just like, I'm glad that I'm able to do this now.
Why'd you choose the name?
So initially we have a product that's coming out with Discreezips, but we decided to launch the app first. We're creating biodegradable Ziploc baggies to store your pads or tampons in. So for example, you go to a party and it's maybe like one bathroom that you can use. Every woman has been there, right? And there's no trash can. What do you do as a woman? You unfortunately have to wrap that pad or tampon in some paper towel or toilet paper and stuff it at the bottom of your purse until you get to where you need to go to dispose of it. So if you're able to, if you're able to be in those situations, why not just have a little nice discreet bag that you can put it in that's biodegradable, odorless, and they'll help you travel to the next destination. And I think it's so important, especially with kids, cheerleaders, just places where you'll have a lot of groups of people, dorms, things like that, where you will find that this type of product is necessary. So we've been testing, certain things, but unfortunately due to COVID, factories have shut down and warehouses have to shut down. So, I'm glad that I was able to launch the app first because it's kind of like technology. We can do it, at home or whatever we need to do. So eventually we'll have our product line coming out. So that's how we develop the brand.
So the app is out now. When do you think the products will be out? Do you have a date for that, or you're like, let's just focus on the app right now?
I don't have a date. I will say next year for sure. Okay. Again, people are scared coming back up from COVID. Then next thing you know, we might be shut down again. I know California's shut down again. So I just wish I can have some type of number, but during this pandemic, I gotta roll with that too.
I understand. You don't even want to put that out there until you know.
Yeah, because if something happens, it's kind of like, oh, well, I developed COVID working for Discreezips. Wait, what?
Well, I'm excited about this new app. I mean, it's pretty good, in my opinion, to be able to track so many different things. I know that menstrual cycle apps are very popular, but for you to include so many different things that are important to women in one app, I think is pretty brilliant. So congrats.
Thank you so much. And I will say this, a lot of apps don't have where there's things like created towards that group of people. Hypothetically speaking, if I have a teenage daughter, which I don't, but if I have a teenage daughter and she's learning how to track her period for the first time and she's 13, I don't want her logging into another app and she's looking at insights about how to please your man and sexual positions and things that might be, interest to our age group, but maybe not so much her age group. So I think that, developing something that has insights just for those different age groups are so important too. Some women don't have periods. Some people, it takes them, it's a long time to ovulate or they can't ovulate, pregnancy and things like that. We offer all those things in the app. So that's what kind of also makes us different.
I like it. I like that it's set apart from other feminine apps. You also have Discreet Men. Tell me about that.
Girl, listen, I'm trying to get more.
You are covering everything.
Well, because people forget that there's so many single fathers out there that have daughters, or men that are in tune with their significant others, whether you're married or whatever, or maybe it's male and female, whatever. People forget about the men when it comes to the women in these things. I've talked to a few single fathers and they're like, I don't know, Dominique, what to do. My daughter's having a period. Like, how do I talk to her? Like, how do I know? Is it every 7 days? Is it every 28 days? Like, I don't know, and sometimes it's uncomfortable for these girls to talk to their dad about, having a period once a month. So this will kind of like bridge that gap and say, hey, honey, I'm with you. And if your daughter is at school or at work and she's logging in all those symptoms, guess what? Daddy can see it. So maybe daddy needs to go and get more pads and tampons, or maybe daddy needs to possibly get her some medicine when she comes home from school, or, some chocolate to kind of help her out. Who knows? So we're just, again, bridging that gap and bringing the communities together for sure.
So it's an initiative that educates fathers. And
absolutely.
Daughters of the young women in their lives.
Absolutely. And, if you have a surrogate, for example, we have men that have surrogates, whether it's male and male or male and female, you might want to track that surrogate instead of bothering her every 5 minutes. Like, hey, did you throw the baby cake? Hey, is the baby a seed yet? Or is it a cantaloupe yet? Just certain things that you just don't want to bother the other person every 5 minutes. As long as she is tracking it in the app, you can see that. And you guys can communicate through our message center in there. So it's kind of pretty dope.
It is dope. So how do you get the app? How much does the app cost?
Sure. You can download the app on Apple or on Google Play, Android or Apple phone. And it's about $3.99 for now.
I think I'm really excited about how hands-on you are with the entire process. It wasn't like an idea you created and you just kind of passed it off like, hey, make it come to life. And
oh no, I'm very
it's done. You're very involved, and I love that so much. So congrats.
Thank you. It's my baby, so it's just like I have to be hands-on, and I don't think I can really create anything that I'm not hands-on about. And I think that, I take full ownership. If something isn't working, I'm sorry, we'll be right back with you. And I'm literally like, it's just me and my sister, that are really powwowing, making this happen. Like, I don't have a million employees or, to go and say, hey, fix this. Especially
all the hats and you're
my sister and I, we are definitely trading off the hats.
Shout out to sister for standing.
Thank you.
Now, outside looking in, to me, you maneuver serial entrepreneurship like a true boss. Tell me about your children's book series, The Many Adventures of Donald.
Oh, wow. That book series was created, I want to say in 2013. my son, I really couldn't find any books that we could relate to at the time. And I was like, you know what? I make little nursery rhymes and things. I know it sounds crazy, but I do. I'm very animated at home. And I was just like, let me put this into something that we can all learn from. And it's crazy because when I did my face, which was the very first book that I created, I'm a Black woman. Let me just say that for the record. But sometimes when you're fair skinned, I'll say, my son is fair skinned, he's not relating to the other kids that are possibly brown skinned, because at the time we were living in Florida. So he started to identify himself with, whiter Cupid. And I had to say, honey, you Black, you are very much Black. So that prompted me to write this book and just say, like, you know what, Donald, no matter what we look like on the outside, we all have the same nose, mouth, we all have the same thing going. And I didn't think that, like, all those years ago, this would be such a big factor even now with all the Black Lives Matter movement that is going on and people are trying to rip us apart. We are all one race, and that's the human race. And it's just so profound in this moment right now. So that's kind of how I started it.
So it started as like an ode or a gift to your son so that he could kind of, build his confidence, see his identity.
Absolutely.
And now it's blossomed into...
It has completely blossomed. And so before books, coloring books, and then I have them now in 3 different languages as well. So it's completely blossomed.
Wow. Overall, why is entrepreneurship and philanthropy so important to you?
I never wanted to be that person that just relied on one income as my source of income. And before I started having all my babies, I really was a go-getter. I have that hustle mentality. So after having children, or even kind of during having children, because I, did some things along the way, it just never left me. And I felt like as I climbed the ladder, I always needed to come back down and give to the community. I'll briefly discuss, I had a baby store at one point. And even with that, I donated my entire store to the city of Inglewood, California, where I'm from. So I gave these people opportunities to come get Orchid Baby, which are like $1,000 strollers, Stokey, which are like $300 high chairs. Stella McCartney clothing, like all this good stuff. They were able to come and get it for $10 or just at a really cheap price. Like, I didn't sell anything over $20, and that's including strollers.
$20 strollers, high-end strollers.
High-end strollers. And then on top of that, I developed a cheer camp where once a year we got together and next to the football camps, I taught them cheers, gymnastics, and really tried to build up their confidence. So at the end of the cheer, they came and did it in front of their parents and stuff like that, just to promote, like, self-awareness, confidence in girls, because I feel like sometimes when men do football camps or basketball camps, what happens? They forget about the girls. The girls are usually sitting in the stands. They're watching, their brother, go and be with all these great athletes, but they don't necessarily get those opportunities. So in the future, I'm developing the Joy Jolie project with my team so that we can continue to do this type of service to, the inner city for sure.
Well, I love that no matter what you create, you have someone else in mind.
Oh yeah,
that's the brilliant, selfless part of you that just exudes through you. So
Thank you.
The very best in everything that you're doing. Keep striving, keep creating.
I'm trying.
May you get everything you give out in the world back tenfold. Well, if anyone's interested in visiting you online, checking out your books or your products, what's the best way to connect with you?
You can right now reach me on Instagram at Dominique_, or you can go to my website, which will show you everything that I'm doing at DominiqueDaigle.com.
Thank you so much for being on the show today. And
thanks for having me.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.